Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeremy here at Extreme Weather Tracker, updating your tropical weather at 1:24 p.m. on July 28th, 2011. We still have Tropical Storm Don located here north of the Yucatan, moving to the northwest at about 15 miles per hour. The center of Don, although you would think that the center of Don would be under this area of convection, actually the low-level center of Don is displaced to the north, and as you can see, most of the convection associated with Don is to the south. Although it is trying to, a little blow up of convection is trying to blow up here to the north. Don is weak at this time, 45 miles per hour sustained winds with gusts of 55, but the central pressure of Don has risen to 1,005 millibars, and that's indicative that Don is slightly weakened. And as you can see, there's some shear affecting Don from the north coming down, and also you can see a little bit of dry air getting entrained into Don over here on the western side. Don should continue to move off to the northwest at about 15 miles per hour. It has slowed down some, and some of the latest models, actually the latest satellite loop, if I could loop this for you with it, which unfortunately I can't, basically showed Don moving in a more north-northwest direction. So that should have some bearing on future track. Let me show you. This is the hurricane. Actually, sorry. This is the hurricane graphical tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center. As you can see, I was talking about the bulk of Don is down here on the bottom, and you can see the center located up here. Now Don's moving to the northwest at 15 miles per hour, and should make landfall sometime Friday night into Saturday morning as possibly a strong tropical storm. If it doesn't get torn apart, I guess it's a long possibility, but it could be a minimal hurricane. Let me show you the model tracks. These are the model tracks, and this was from about 7 o'clock this morning. As you can see, the cluster of the models is moved northward. Here's Corpus down in this area here. So you can see the bulk of the models is now up around Port Lavaca. This would be Galveston Bay here, and as you can see on this graphic, 3 or 4 of the models still wanting to take this a little further north into Galveston Bay toward our area in southeast Texas, and then the bulk of the models are clustered here around Port Lavaca. Now I do believe that if this storm becomes weaker than what it is now, it will get drawn a little bit farther north than originally anticipated. And matter of fact, in the latest National Hurricane Advisory, they have moved their track up. I'll switch back over to the. They have moved their track up, and their cone of probabilities is something like this now. They've basically taken Brownsville out of the picture, and they've got the center of their track going somewhere along the central Texas coast there around Port Lavaca. And I do anticipate more shifting to the north. We'll have to see what the models are indicating. But when a system remains weak like this, it's steered by the lower level winds. And the lower level winds are coming more out of a south to north, maybe a southeast to northwest fashion. So I believe Don will continue on a more northwesterly course, and as opposed to a west northwesterly course that would take it down into this area, the southern Texas. If Don were to intensify quite a bit, then it would become steered. It would start being steered by the high level winds. Thus, it would start being steered more to the west northwest. Thus, you'd get that more southerly track. So at this point, I believe anywhere from Port Lavaca to maybe just north of Galveston Bay is probably still in the cone of possibility there. And we will definitely have to keep an eye on it. I think it would be just basically a beneficial rainmaker. May get some gusty winds out of it. But here in southeast Texas, we'll just keep an eye on it. You never know with these type of systems exactly where the final track's going to be. But the National Hurricane Center in their discussion did say that a significant northward shift was taking place. So we'll end up seeing what happens with that. Now, switching gears for just a moment, I want to go out to probably our next troublemaker. This is out here in the eastern Atlantic. You can see this nice tropical wave showing up here. There is some cyclonic turning with this thing already, and a lot of the models are already picking up and developing this. Sometimes it should be around the Lesser Antilles or the Windward Islands in 4 to 5 days, and we could get some development somewhere in this area of the world. The MJO, which favors upward motion, has started to creep back into our area, so we'll just definitely have to see what's going to become of this. I expect this to be getting named an invest sometime over the next 48 to 72 hours as it moves on off to the west-northwest. And the next named storm we will have will be Emily. So we'll definitely have to see what becomes of this. I think the season's about to really start ramping up. But for right now, we're just watching Don, see what he does. Like I said, center in here somewhere. A weaker storm, I believe, will track further to the north, and a stronger storm will probably track a little further south. So I believe anywhere from the National Hurricane Center has posted tropical storm warnings from the coastline, from basically Corpus Christi all the way up to Galveston Bay. So we'll definitely have to see what ends up happening with Don and his final track. I'll be doing another update after the National Hurricane Center's advisory comes out at 4 o'clock. So I'll probably do another update if there's some major changes. Anyway, just keep checking back. This is Jeremy, Extreme Weather Tracker. Hope you guys have a great afternoon.